guys, my name's Andy Mant. I am the founder of a company called BluBlox. BluBlox make blue light blocking glasses. My background is I'm a British born guy. I moved to Australia probably about 8 to 9 years ago now, in search of a lot better weather. So those that live in the United Kingdom will understand why I moved. I guess I moved to Australia because I felt that I was very unhealthy in the UK. I was about 30 or 40 pounds overweight, so about 14-15 kilograms for those on the metric system, which was really unhealthy for me, and that led to me being very inactive, very down, depressed. I had a lot of really bad anxiety. So what I needed to do was, I initially thought I needed to go and see practitioners, doctors. I went to see them, got given things like, prescribed or go and do a low-calorie diet, which didn't work for me. So a lot of my success in getting myself to the optimal weight that I am today is through looking at dieting a little bit more bespoke. So from my perspective is reading a lot of journals, following a lot of really informative Facebook groups where I could take a lot of information and apply it to my personal needs. And I found I did very well on a low carbohydrate ketogenic diet where I wasn't really counting calories. I was just eating until I was satiated, and basically the weight started falling off, and it brought me into a really good weight. I felt a lot more healthy, a lot more energy, but one thing that was lacking was my sleep, and that's when I started to wear blue light blocking glasses during the day and in the evening as well, and my sleep improved a lot from wearing those, and off the back of that, my energy was even better. I was a lot more motivated, a lot happier. My anxiety completely disappeared because it went a little bit with the ketogenic diet, but not totally. So, light I found had a major influence on increasing cortisol levels, which is a stress hormone, and that basically, when chronically kept high, led to things like depression, anxiety, symptoms that I had that I couldn't solve from dieting alone. So, I guess my advice is, look at dieting protocols, but don't think that's the be all and end all. You need to be optimizing your circadian rhythms as well, which means managing light, managing when you eat. I eat a lot of my calories at the beginning of the day, which I found was very good for myself, and then I fast after dark. I typically responded a lot better to exercising in the morning, and that makes complete sense from a circadian standpoint as well. So the three factors that really changed my life and my health was going for a whole food ketogenic diet, looking at exercising and eating a lot of my food during the morning, and fasting after dark, but also managing light as well, making sure I block it after dark and filter it during the day by wearing blue blocker glasses. These therapies and practice really changed my life for the better. I had really low energy before, and now I've got really high energy, which is fantastic. My anxiety is completely gone. One other thing actually I should have mentioned is I've cut out caffeine. Anyone that's suffering from anxiety, depression, stress should not be drinking caffeine. It really just exacerbates the problem, so you really need to think about dropping that, maybe moving to a decaffeinated drink as well, like a tea or a coffee that's decaffeinated. I feel great today. My level of health is really good. I had blood tests done recently actually, and everything came back in the optimal range. We're in the middle of winter here actually in Australia. My vitamin D levels were through the roof, and the reason that is because I don't wear sunscreen, I don't wear sunglasses outside. I understand that light is so important from the sun. The UV light is very important for synthesizing vitamin D. When you actually look at a lot of the studies like I do, I'm a bit of a geek, you actually find that people that have a lot of diseases like stress, anxiety, depression, even like sort of high cholesterol levels, things like that, are really always coming back with very low vitamin D readings. So vitamin D is very, very important to ward off a lot of these types of diseases and keep you very healthy. So no sunscreen, no sunglasses. I'm outside in the morning watching the sunrise, in the evening watching the sunset, maybe sat in the shade during the day when the UV is quite high, but making sure that I am physically outside a lot of the time. And I just want to say to the community that are listening to this that it's so simple to change your health and your lifestyle, and get yourself into an optimal state. And a lot of the things you can do are actually free, like getting outside a lot, making sure that you're grounded to the earth is fantastic. Making sure that you're making the right choices when it comes to food and the timing of eating that food. Making sure you exercise. You don't have to join a gym. You can go out for walks. You can run. You can cycle. All free things. And if you want to then take it to the next level, you can buy things like blue light blocking glasses, red light bulbs for your house to manage the light. And I just want to say that it's doable for everyone. You just got to believe and trust the process. Huge saying that I always live by is trust the process. You're not going to get from A to B very quickly. You just got to understand that it will take time, but it will happen. So I guess from my point of view, we need to look at, from my point of view, the resources. Look online, but be very careful when you're looking online. Look for people that are very credible. The Light and Health group and the Healing Together group, two very fantastic resources for asking like-minded people questions about how they did things and how they went about doing stuff. And for me, books don't really interest me. It's more academic journals, and I go on PubMed and you can get free access and set up alerts for anything that you want that peer-reviewed studies have come out on. So for instance, if you had obesity or depression, anxiety, or Hashimoto's or something, you can set up a buzzword on that any article that's released in the academic literature is emailed to your inbox straight away. And that's really worth doing, because you're going to get information that won't be in the public domain in terms of out with doctors and practitioners for about 15 years. So you can be really ahead of the curveball and get all these sort of tips on how things are going to work from a health perspective, and then apply them to yourself. And you just got to remember that everyone is different. What works for one person might not work for you. So if it isn't working for you after a period of time, don't be afraid to change and seek, reach out and seek for extra advice and discussion with people. Okay, so, pay forward your healing. Keep sharing, keep caring, and let's continue healing together.